Hey there, Wargamers! Welcome to today's Horus Heresy Battle Report. I'm Luka from MiniWarGaming.com, joined by Johnny Payne. And today we play 3,000 points of the Ultramarines against the Death Guard.
We play and call it work.
MiniWarGaming's Horus Heresy Battle Report.
Let's take a look at the Death Guard forces first. Today, I will be playing the Creeping Death as my Rite of War, and I'll be explaining the finer details of the list as we play the game. But assume the relevant characters will have toxin bombs and various upgrades to their flamers and whatnot. Now, leading the entire thing, we have Mortarion. Both Johnny Payne and myself decided to play with Legion Daddies today, so we'll see Bobby G on the other side. Moving on to characters, because I'm playing the Creeping Death, I do have to bring a Siegebreaker, which isn't a bad thing. So here is my Siegebreaker. He has got a combi, alchemical flamer, and power sword, keeping him relatively cheap. Then moving on to my troops, we are going to go heavy into our troops today. So about nearly half the list is troops. Because of the Creeping Death, we are able to take Grave Warden Terminators as a non-compulsory troop choice. And I wanted to keep it feet on the ground today, no real transports. They are going to have their chemical flamer upgrade and toxin bombs on the Sergeant. But scratch that, no toxin bombs on them, just double checking that one. We do have a pair of tactical Marines here, fully equipped, everything you can imagine. 20 strong, baby. We're going to run a pair of Assault Marines as well, just to give myself a little bit of speed here. And we're going to have a pair of Power Axes and Power Size in the squads as well. And then moving on to elite stuff, we are going to be running a retinue of Death Shroud Terminators. We have 6 here because the 7th one, unfortunately and untimely, did die right before this battle report starts. So his story cannot be told here. We have a Contemptor Dreadnought with an alchemical heavy flamer in his Gravis Power Fist and the Carries Pattern Assault Cannon. We have an Apothecarian Detachment of 2. They'll be joining the Tacticals naturally. And then the last bits of the list here, well, we got our heavy support choices. We have a 5-man squad with missiles. No upgrades on them. They do have Augury Scanner. And then a 10-man squad of missiles who will probably be joined by the Siegebreaker. They are going to have an Augury Scanner. And then I had the points to throw Artificer Armor on the Sergeant here, just to the extra 10. And then that's it for the Death Guard. That's everything in culmination there. We'll see what it does here. I think a lot of synergy here with Mortarion in the list. He's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting, kill-wise, while the rest of the army typically holds. Let's go see what the Ultramarines are bringing to bear.
All right, today we've got 3,000 points of Ultramarines led by the man himself, Robute Guillamon. Robot girly
That
man.
is exactly how it's pronounced, without a doubt.
Good.
Absolutely. How many times have you played Ultramarines before?
This will be the first time.
And why are you playing Ultramarines today?
This is Stormbolters army that he sent over for Steve and the studio to use, and he graciously offered to let me use it so that I wouldn't get burnt out playing my kind of one-dimensional Thousand Sons army that you've probably seen me play. So, yeah, shout out to Stormbolter. Thank you. Beautiful army. This should be fun. So, like I said, led by Primarch.
The Primarch
of
here.
the Ultramarines.
Yeah, Bobby G.
Bobbert G. We've got a Praetor. He's got the cool axe and a combi Melta. We're running the Logos Lectora Rite of War. Because of that, we also have to have a additional HQ. So we've got a Master of Signals. He'll be helping out our 10-man missile launcher squad hit better. They're over in heavy support. For elites, we have a single apothecary. They'll be running around with one of my 2 10-man tactical squads. We've got a Contemptor Dreadnought Talon, so we've got 2 Contemptors here, one with double carries, one with a punchy fist and a plasma cannon. We've also got 5 Fulmentaris Terminators, which I would be doing Stormbolter a disservice if I didn't say that these were better than Tyrant Siege Terminators.
So
we'll see about that today.
General consensus.
That's right. I think we can all agree. Okay, then we've got a 10-man veteran squad. Sergeant has Artificer Armor. They'll be riding around in a Rhino. And then we've got a 5-man squad, Reconnaissance Squad. They all are going to be snipey and infiltrating with their Nemesis bolters. And then we've got a Land Raider Spartan for Bobby G and his boys, to his Caesarean, to ride around in.
Did you buy flare shields for it?
I did this time.
That's funny. Awesome.
I learned the lesson. And a searchlight, so watch out. No hiding from me.
If we have knife fighting.
And that'll round out the list at 3,000 points of Ultramarines.
Excellent. Let's go take a look at the mission that Johnny Payne and myself will be playing. The mission that we have drafted up today will be a hammer and anvil style deployment, though it'll be elongated frontages there. So we're a little bit closer to the middle, which is relevant because we are playing the relic today, or the prize. So no matter how much blood will be shed, how many lives lost, or hardships endured, nothing else matters but to seize the prize. So the highlighted object in the middle of the table will be the objective. Infantry models can smash apart the base and take the archaeotech inside of it for their side in the Heresy. It is of great important value, and whoever controls it at the end of the game will be the winner. And if it's dropped by whatever model initially grabs it, the unit or the army that can score it at the end of the game, or closest to it, will be the winner as well. And we are going to have a twist on top of all of this. There are indiscriminate projectiles in orbit. So as we fight on the surface of the planet, there is orbital conflict going on as well. Ship debris, or perhaps planetary stations or orbital platforms are being destroyed, and they are raining debris upon the battlefield, and our units will be randomly hit. And I'll describe how that works as we play the game, because we do have to adjust it a little bit. Now, if you're curious where we got this mission from, it is just a change of pace from the basic missions in the rule book. They're fine, but it's just nice to change it up a little bit here. And we are using the Warhammer 40k Open War Pack to draft up a mission that, if you watch the previous battle report that Johnny Payne and myself have done, or did do, we explain how that works. If you're familiar with Star Wars Legion, it's nearly identical to that. I find that this helps us create a fun narrative to the mission, as well as just changing it up and keeping it fresh within the realm of the Heresy. Now, some of the cards do need to be changed a little bit here and there, and there's a couple that just don't work in general or aren't very exciting, but that's easy enough. You just throw them off to the side, you agree with your opponent, and you keep the draft format to only relevant cards. Let's take a peek at the table before we muddy it up with our Heresy armies here. The terrain here we have, it's all a matching set from March of War. We got this in the last couple of months, and I haven't really had a chance to use it all that much, so it'll work well in the Heresy here. Everything, the sandbag platforms to the bunkers, which are scaled for like human-sized models, and there's some las guns in there and everything, so it's very clearly very 40k inspired in a lot of ways as well. And I picked the wrong one, doesn't have a las gun in it, but you guys get it. So you could put like 25mm bases in there, and you could fit a couple of Marines in there, but they're definitely not built for the Astartes, which is kind of cool. And then we have our ruins, building debris, all that stuff. Good area terrain. Great for 40k as well if you want to go and check out this company. And it just matches this mat we have here. It's an old mat actually from Urban Mat we've had for quite a while here. It is your standard 6 foot by 4 foot style mat, but they make their own 44-inch by 60-inch mats as well for modern 40k and Age of Sigmar. I would like to remind our Silver Vault members that you have access codes to many different terrain companies, model companies, hobby supplies, anything you can imagine. It's well over 50 companies at this point in the vault. Now, you don't need to be a Silver Vault member to benefit, to see it. You could be a Bronze member to go check it out by going to the Vault section on MiniWarGaming.com or clicking the link in the description below. Or the last option is going to MiniWarGaming.com/silver discount. That'll also redirect you to where you need to be. It'll save you, save you a lot of money, especially if you're going to buy a large collection of terrain anytime soon. I'd bid you go check that out, consider it, do the math. And have a good time with all that. Now, we are going to go ahead and deploy our forces. That's enough of the spiel there. And we're going to show you what that looks like as we come back in but a second. And holy crap, that's a lot of infantry. Now, the Ultramarines have a crap ton of infantry too, but they're all in transports. I did not put any points into transports this game. For whatever reason, it just didn't work out that way. I instead went all boots on the ground, or power armor boots on the ground. As for deployment, it's pretty symmetrical to Ultramarines. We have Assault Marines, Tacticals with an Apothecary, Contemptor, Tacticals, Death Shroud Terminator, the Bodyguard of Mortarion right up in the middle at the edge of my deployment zone, Grave Warden Terminators, more Assault Marines, and my heavy weapon team with the Siege Breaker over here, and then I have a heavy weapon team up in the ruins. They're probably not going to move too much, but these ones are going to move. And then over here, we have Tacticals and a Rhino. These are Veterans and a Rhino with an Apothecary. Those are Tacticals and a Rhino. Oop, knocking over terrain. We have not the Suzerain, but the, what are they called?
Veteran. Fulmentaris.
The Fulmentaris Terminators. And then the Suzerain, Guilliman, Praetor are in here as well.
Yep.
And then heavy weapon team with the Master of Signals. And then the Para-Contemptors in the back there.
That's right.
And then the reconnaissance team, because you're right of war, you're not allowed to infiltrate, deep strike, or use any other. You just have to deploy in your deployment zone. They're just going to deploy up here.
Yep.
Now, from your right of war, you have the Logos. So every turn, the Ultramarines get to pick a rule. They don't have to, but they can. And it'll apply to everything that's infantry, not the dreadnoughts or the vehicles. And they'll get to augment their stats in one way and augment it in another way. So one example is +2 move, but -1 BS. You can't choose the same one twice in a row. Gilliman has a very similar rule built into him, where he gets to choose one rule that the whole army gets, not the vehicles, but the dreadnoughts get it. And then the main catch to both of those are you cannot choose the same one twice in a row, but the same one can be chosen multiple times throughout the course of the game. Now, this battle will last 5 turns with a maybe 6th turn in play on a 4-up. And I did forget to mention the secondaries, because as we're drafting the mission, it's important to have the secondaries from the Heresy involved. So we're going to go with attrition, which is a standard secondary. Whoever essentially kills the most units will get a victory point. The price of failure and warlord kill are all going to be into play here, and as secondaries that we can both achieve. For my right of war, the Creeping Death, all models in my deployment zone, including the enemy, get shrouded 6-up. I'll try to remember that for the Ultramarines if they make their way over here. And then all of my deployment zone, as well as in this case all the ruins, are not that they have a big footprint, are going to count as dangerous terrain. Just because I've chemically bombarded this battlefield before we really committed to it. Now, the Ultramarines can just ignore most of that, but my deployment zone will be the big one there. And there's a couple other things too, but that's mostly it. That'll be relevant there. It just changed up how my Force Org works and like what I have to bring. But the other thing here is my whole army ignores dangerous terrain, because that's just the Death Guard rule, effectively, as long as they don't do certain things. Now, that's the other part of Creeping Death. That was the last one. My entire army ignores dangerous terrain. And then you can ignore difficult terrain as long as I don't do certain things like running and stuff like that. So I just kind of march forward, ignoring the movement penalties. I forgot to mention one thing war gear related. My Death Shroud Terminators here they have 5 melta bombs, so everyone but that base will have a melta bomb. I didn't have the extra. Oh, I do have the 5 points for it. That guy, because I had to take away the Artificer armor up there, so they do have melta bombs as well. I'll change that in my list, but it's probably already technically changed by the time I mentioned it, so disregard. Now, I did deploy second here. Forgot to show that off. First deployment goes to Johnny Payne and the Ultramarine, so he's lined up to move,
do a quick snatch and grab and
disembark
run off.
and take that.
Yep.
And I have the option to seize the initiative or pounce on whatever unit commits to taking that objective. We got Mortarion, who's obviously a nightmare to deal with sometimes, based on if I could pass leadership checks or not. Got the Shadow of the Reaper. Now, narratively, what's going on here is this statue is a tomb. It doubles as a tomb. There is
catacomb.
Essentially a catacomb. Yeah, there is an individual buried underneath there. But with that individual, there was archaeotech that is suddenly very important. So it's like a smash and grab is what's going on here. So we're going to defile the tomb, take what's important, and then essentially tie up the enemy and make safely away with that artifact. And that's what's happening here. Now, we're going to roll off to see who goes first. Effectively, on a 6, I could seize the initiative. Otherwise, it will be the Ultramarines going first. I don't want to seize, so I'm a hypothetical. Okay, I wouldn't have gotten it anyways. Because I kind of want to counterattack whoever goes for the objective there.
Yeah.
And if you don't go for it, I'll just go snag it with my Terminators.
Yeah. So, for Bobby G's Warlord trait, I get +1 leadership while he's on the battlefield up to a maximum of 10, but also I get to choose at the start of the battle which phase I will have an extra reaction in, and I'm going to choose movement phase, the thought being that this is kind of going to be a more strategic kind of run away and hide with the prize type of game, so
correct.
Hoping that'll help me out there.
Which is that's the nice thing about him. He can choose any phase. So he sees what the army he's fighting against is, and before deployment he chooses. So we went with movement phase on that one. So would you like to augment your stats with the logo stuff or Bobby G? I'll let you take a look first, actually.
All right, so before the first turn, kind of envisioning what's going to happen here, trying to think ahead. So the plan here, we're going to run up here, disembark, grab the objective, right? But we can't get back into safety inside the Rhino, so we have to prepare to be charged by the boys up here. They're pretty nasty. So with the Logos, what we're going to do is take Retribution Strike. That'll be +1 weapon skill and +1 to charge, -1 ballistic skill. That's kind of whatever. Just trying to be more defensive with my weapon skill. I think your weapon skill 5, so that'll be very helpful.
Yeah, because
in
they're
the
veterans going to
avoiding
6.
hits, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
And then with Guilliman's preternatural strategy, we are going to take Stubborn for this turn, so we don't run away.
Interesting. That can give you some staying power there. Absolutely. All right, I like it. I like everything about that. Perfect. Now onto your movement. We're going to show you where everything ends up moving because it's not going to be overly exciting. These guys are going to move forward, disembark, smash and grab. The rest, however, I'm not too sure. We'll see where that ends up. All right, this is all the non-relevant movement here, and you probably say you forgot the debris falling from space. We haven't actually we technically did, but we'll do that in a second here. So the veterans, this moves up, they disembark. Very fittingly, the veteran sergeant, with his power fist, smashes into the ruins here and grabs what is needed. So it is currently on him right now. We have a coin to represent that. This rhino zips forward, max speed to block that area here with the tacticals. This tactical rhino moves forward as far as it can. And our terminators, Fulminators, just move forward.
Scooted forward, pop some shots.
Contemptors move forward a little bit and staying still because they don't want to take the dangerous terrain from the ruins they're in. And then this bad boy has got to do a dangerous terrain check as it drives over.
Gonna try to hop into this spot here. No.
Is it?
Oh no.
Well, everyone, it's very fitting for Johnny Payne. So it hits there. A track gets stuck in the sandbags, and fate has decreed that Spartan's life stays there. Spartans can't take dozer blades anymore, so single dangerous terrain checks are deadly for them. Yes. I insisted that we just jokingly say, ha, you rolled a 1 and re-roll it, but Johnny's like, nah, we'll stick with it. We're going to stick with the pace, the state of the game here. So you have 5 hull points remaining. You're immobilized, but I suppose you can still disembark. That's where they end up disembarking.
Heroically disembarking.
Yeah, it's all part of the plan. So like the goal was to be there to counterattack whatever hits them. They're still going to be able to do it. They're just like a little bit further back than they would have liked to be. So I guess ultimately it's not that bad.
Now the big brain play is to get out and look sweet.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Now you just got backline fire support.
That's right.
That can only fire straight. Well, I kind of decides to the spawns and stuff.
Like 350 points of it. It's good.
That's fine. Perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and roll up some of the orbital debris. So the way this works is at the start of Johnny Payne's, he actually rolls 3 dice. And then for every 6 that Johnny Payne rolls, he picks one of my units, and that debris will land around that unit and cause damage to them. It will cause D3 wounds that ignore armor saves. Effectively is what it is. Or D3 hull points to a vehicle, which is kind of huge. All right, what do we got here?
So I won't say I'm owed some luck here, but I have had a fairly unlucky week. I will say that I deserve the luck. So let's see what we get.
You got 1.
Hey, you got 1.
All right.
Perfect.
So I wonder if I'm gonna keep it to how it was now. I just had a brain because this is the one that we had to alter. I'm gonna discuss a little bit off camera. We're just gonna keep it. We're trying to figure out to like set the AP to it because we didn't say one. Let's just say AP2 for the purposes of vehicles, because it could make them blow up if they lose the last one. Yeah. I was saying like, if it ignores armor, the best targets are you can only target characters if there's a stipulation for character targeting. Characters only ever take 1 wound from it, not D3. So you could target my Primarch, you could target your Primarch. They have healing.
I'm coming here.
But I got a unit there, so they're fine.
Yep.
And then Dreadnoughts are good targets, Terminators are good targets. So we just go do D3 wounds to them, roll it up.
Yep.
D3 damage to my Death Shroud. 1. So not, because like something lands essentially right around here.
Yeah.
Now I do get Tartaros Terminator.
Then we have to figure out, does it have instant death?
Good question. Okay, debating if we wanted to give it a strength characteristic like 8 or 10. So like 8 would make sense, but then these guys are battle hardened, so they need strength 10 to be killed. And if we all make it strength 10, it might feel bad for both of our terminators because like say I roll 3 6s and they just get like nuked and they just get nuked by debris or whatever. That might feel kind of bad. So I think we're gonna no strength characteristic, and we're just gonna make it just do flat damage that ignores armor. So they take essentially like bolt guns that have like AP2 or whatever. But
so they're taking 1 wound, no instant death.
And invuln. It didn't matter in the end, not because we made the invuln anyways. But
right.
Okay, so the debris hits them, but the Terminator plate protects them a little bit there. And then, so that's it. Now we technically do the movement. Movement's done. They smash and grab at the end of the movement phase there, and then shooting.
Yep.
While Johnny Payne looks up some rules for shooting, kind of discussing the philosophy of like the open war cards. It's on you guys if you want to use this format. You could choose whatever you want to do for those twists. Sometimes I don't want the twist to like dictate the game so heavily. Some of them can be pretty wild, like +1 move, +1 charge and stuff like that, +1 attack. But yeah, it's ultimately up to you. You can change the rules however you want while you're playing the game.
Some drop into 30K seamlessly, and then
Yeah.
others, like the one we're just talking about, need a good amount of massaging.
Yeah.
And so you just have to kind of defer, just come to a good agreement with your opponent, and
Yeah.
kind of think about what was the idea behind the game design of that card
Yeah.
within 40K. So
I personally love this particular twist because it represents that there's more going on this battlefield than what you see. There's conflict in space, in high orbit, low orbit. There's off to the sides. There's combat going on, and it just kind of represents that real well enough. It just depends on how much. Like again, at the same time, you could argue it's orbital debris, so it could be strength 10, or strength 20, or just have instant death built into it in general. Maybe that because that means if it has instant death built into it in general, then if you pick dreadnoughts with their deflectors, they take D3 damage everyone that goes through, and they only have a 5+ save against it. So it could be massively impactful on the game, or just make it do D3 damage per 6, keep it simple too, and make it a little bit less impactful. That's on you as the player to decide. But I also want to know your guys' feedback in the comments. Like if you guys hate that we use the open war cards to generate a heresy scenario, let me know and I'll stop doing it, because I only really want to do things that you guys find interesting. I play so many games, I just want to make sure you guys are having a fun time while you're watching as well. Also, leave comments down below based on like your favorite moment in the game. Did something weird happen that you liked? Talk about it. Get people talking about it. Maybe I can like recreate it or like force those interesting things to happen again in the future. I want to know what you guys like to see. If it's just me suffering, that's a valid thing to comment on too. And if you see someone else already posting it, throw a thumbs up and support it, and just get the conversations rolling. We're gonna start with the Spartan here. I forgot. Just realized it now as we're about to start playing the game. It is night fighting currently. Well, we rolled it off camera earlier. It hasn't come across my thought until right now. So there will be night fighting here in play, but that thing has searchlights, so it doesn't really care about that.
Right.
What do you want to fire at with that bad boy?
Got to go in the Death Shroud.
Right down the middle. Yeah, he's got varying levels of line of sight, just because he's actually elevated right now, and he's shooting over the bunkers at my Terminators. All right, so what do we got going on here?
Okay, las cannons, 4 shots.
Twin linked.
Twin linked, please.
It does only hit on 4s because of night fighting though.
All right.
And 2s to wound, strength 9. That's a wound. Okay, that's Johnny Payne rolling right there, folks. It goes right through my armor. We are going to have invulns, though. All right, we take a wound. Now, they are battle-hardened 1. Only strength 10 can instant kill them, and they have 3 wounds each. Start putting wounds on this guy here because he's, like, off color, so he dies first. The heavy bolters in range as well. 4s to hit, twin-linked. We got 1 hit so far. And a reroll, 3 hits. 3s to wound. They're only T5 for the purpose of instant death. Got 2. 2 pluses. We make both. Oh! I forgot, during my deployment zone, they get shrouded against that last cannon shot.
Ooh.
Nope, that didn't matter. There might have been like an errata actually about shroud. You can't do shrouded saves if you're fearless. So I'll roll it, and if I make it, I'll look it up because they are currently joined by Mortarians, so they're fearless.
All right, next we're going to go with the snipers, all coming at your Death Shroud here.
Are they BS5 or 4 still?
I believe they are BS4.
All right, so we got 3 hits because of night fighting.
Yep.
And then...
Alrighty, we are strength 5, renting on 5 up.
So that's 2 rends.
All right.
Right through their Terminator plate, we are gonna make 1 of them, and then maybe a shroud. Nope, that's a damage. Bloop. Over here we have the Master of Signals, giving these guys better ballistic skill with one of his, he's got 4 pieces of war gear. Maybe the Cognis Signum does it, I don't know. But they're BS5 right now, but because of night fighting, they're hitting on 3s into the Death Shroud. And they can see them, probably because of honestly the Master Signals, but they're illuminated by the spotlight as well, or searchlight. Lots of shots.
10 shots on 3s.
We have a single miss.
Okay.
Boop.
That'll help, and should be wounding on 2s.
Yeah. Oh wow. 2 pluses. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. That guy's gonna die to that. I'm gonna roll the shroud just in case nobody fails it. Only if he's got line of sight to that guy. This guy is not in line of sight for those missiles, so that means this guy over here is gonna take the wound instead. But it's gonna seem weird, guys, but I'm gonna pull this model. I think he should be dead. There was a 3, and I just kind of picked up and re-rolled it into a 5 without even thinking about it. It was so very clearly a 3 on the camera. And I know there's probably a few people who are watching whoa, what'd you do there? What was that weird re-roll? I was every now and then I play with Scary, and we always play fully flat dice, but that's only me and Scary, and that was very clearly a 3 there, so I don't want anyone to assume that I'm trying to keep my guys alive. I don't really mind if he dies or not. That was from their 2 rends that got through. I'm gonna roll just in case I shrouded, I guess, but I don't. Okay. To clarify, that wasn't Johnny Payne complaining about it. Like, he was moving around shooting other things that was like bothering me deeply. I'm like, no, that guy should be dead. Like let's get that guy out of here. Moving on to is the plasma cannon over there. Probably the same target.
Guess where we're coming at? Yeah.
Yeah. They're the only ones who can be shot at right now until the rhinos illuminate. I assume the rhinos have searchlights as well.
I'd have to check.
All right, fair.
Yeah.
Boom.
So we'll go somewhere like there. VS.
So he's but not direct hit.
direct
Yeah.
hit.
Putting right on his head, that'll be 3 hits there. These are wounding on 2s, breaching 4 up. Wounding on 2s. So we get 2 regular saves, and then that one goes through my armor. So the 2 ups.
Okay.
Terminator plate protects there, and then invuln. We're good.
Okay.
Let's see if that gun gets hot first. It didn't do any damage. Okay, we're all good. And then the other contemptor with the pair of carries over there. I like your taste over there. That's a good dread. Not in range to fire right now because of knife fighting currently. Joke's on me. We were talking about the Cognis Signum earlier on the master signals with the missile launchers and the runes there. It actually gives you knife fighting, so that's kind of correct. But I treated it like you had BS. You hitting on 3s. You're actually hitting on 2s because you ignore the knife fighting penalty. So.
We check the clip one more?
There's one more. It was like you rolled a single too, so it wounds, and I get my armor save. That's all that really matters there, but, keeping it clean.
Yep.
All right, so that round is going to pop smoke, and then these guys are going to do a volley of bolter rounds, probably into my death shroud. All right, so we're both firing together, I suppose?
Yep. Twin linked into the death shroud.
Both hit.
And wounding on 4s.
No, not quite.
Ouchie.
Is that it for shooting? Ooh, did the veterans run to get there?
They didn't.
They could fire. That's right.
They'll fire. Yep.
So as part of the Ultramarines rule, they would have gotten +1 to hit because the Spartan shot at them earlier. Or vice versa, I guess. All the same, though. Kind of. Right. I guess it would have made sense to do the Spartan after they shot, but in the end, we got some damage on them. We don't really...
Sorry, I should have thought of that.
That's okay.
We'll get it next time.
They'll get +1 to hit because the Rhino shot at them, though.
There you go.
Heck yeah, Ultramarine stuff. Those 4 veterans are in range and line of sight to fire, so hitting on 2s because of Marines, Ultramarines.
Okay.
Actually, funny enough, 3s because of knife fighting. Because it's always -1 to hit still.
Right.
So they would just go back to their base profile to hit.
And that's
2.
1 wound.
We're good. So there's no charges, and we are done the turn. I don't know. They're fearless. They didn't lose enough models. And then again, the Archaeotech is on the sergeant there, the veteran sergeant. I have to be smart though. I can't really commit the death shroud and all that stuff because they're just gonna get Gillimaned, and that's not ideal. Before I do anything too wild on my turn, I'm gonna see if any falling debris hits this part of the battlefield. Again, I'll roll 3 dice. And for every 6, debris might hit the battlefield. No debris hits this part of the battlefield. It's around.
I needed it.
Just not right here. Moving stuff for the Death Guard, they're going to activate their jump packs. They're going to activate their jump packs, which takes away their Death Guard rule, which means it doesn't adversely affect them because it just says they could shoot weapons normally. They have bolt pistols, so they don't really care. We're going to go fly right into the Dreadnought with the carries there. We're going to let him have a good time. And then fly, fly, fly. Ooh, actually, I want to be careful. I want to keep this guy a little bit back because as one little trick you can do in the Heresy is if you want to, say hypothetically, I put this, can't go that far, but say he was out front, and that's my sergeant. Our friend Johnny Payne could be like, ooh, what's 24 inches? Because you can only kill things in range of your weapon. So he was like, 24 inches, that's the only model within 24. I'll shoot all 12 of my shots, that guy's dead. So let's not put him in a precarious situation, shall we? Let's go ahead and just jump everything forward. They're going generally here. Our Contemptor is going to push forward as well. Moving forward. And we're going to have our tacticals just move up. You know what? I guess we'll move this first, then we'll have our tacticals move forward. Yeah. They're not going to run, though, because they want to do Death Guard things. So they're not slowed down by the terrain. And then when they fire their bolt guns, they count as standing still, which is important because tacticals have Fury of the Legion. They're moving forward. Mortarion is not going to join them because they can withdraw, which is what they're going to be doing here. It's one of their movement reactions. They get to do I believe their initiative as a veteran's 4 still.
Yep.
So they're going to do a 4-inch move. And I'll show you where they end up. There we go. And then I move my tacticals forward as well, just to kind of jump up on that. Then I'm going to go to the other side of the table here, and I am going to show you how I'm going to move some of this stuff. I'm going to do the same thing with this jump pack squad. They are going to activate their jump packs and move forward. Between their jump packs is jumping forward, and then our Grave Wardens move forward. They're 6. They're in Cataphractic plate, so they're a little bit slower. Last things to move, Mortarion. He commanded the Death Shroud to go forward. They're going to trigger the reaction, then we're going to try and shadow the Reaper to catch them. Those going to put Mortarion in a real dumb spot, unfortunately. But if I don't do that, Johnny's next turn, embarking on the Rhino, getting out of here, then I'm going to shoot through his whole army, including the Death Star. So I actually don't know if it's better to play a little more reserved and let him do that, or try and go for the shadow of the Reaper. I'm going to probably go for the Shadow of the Reaper and figure it out. Then again, I could just try and pop the rhinos, even though that one's got smoke on it right now, and then that'll slow down their escape, essentially. We're going to move our heavy weapon team forward. Again, we're Death Guard. So if they don't run, they count as standing still in the shooting phase. So you can move your heavy weapon teams and fire. We're going to end there. The last thing to move, I'm going to attempt a Shadow of the Reaper on Mortarion. For this to work, he has to attempt a leadership check, which he passes, and then I redeploy him within 10 inches of where he was. He's going to redeploy right there.
So he's within 12 of the rhino because I picked my second movement phase reaction. I'm going to move up 6 to screen.
Whew, there we go.
Get in the way.
Making it a rather difficult
minor,
charge.
yeah, slightly different, but probably enough to block you out. So.
Yeah, it makes it, without that being there, it was a 10-inch charge on the dice, not including his movement speed modifier. Yep. So now I have to go up and around the rhino.
Yeah.
Not very likely. But I might go for it all the same.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So 10 gets you, yeah. So it's probably added an inch, but that's important at the high end of the 2-dice scale, right?
Yeah, because now if I declare shots at that rhino, the veterans inside of it just not the veterans, the tacticals inside completely block the veterans. If I pop it with my missiles or something. I'm still probably gonna have my missiles shoot down at the back of the rhino if I can. Then I'll worry about that one later. Because at the same time, you could disembark that. I have to deal with both the rhinos, essentially. Actually, I have to deal with all 3 of them. You might be able to run and get to this one, especially if you declare fleet as your rule. So yeah, I have to actually pop all 3 rhinos, or else they have 3 ways of escape. And then our tacticals move forward as well. It's actually kind of hard to tell what's what, because it's just a sea of Death Guard. But, you know, I got an idea where everything is here. So we're on to shooting here now. And sorry, I think he does that in lieu of shooting.
Is it a psychic ability?
Now that I think about it, I might have messed that up. So he might be a little bit closer than I thought, because he does a full move and then he does that. So he would have been there and then redeployed from there. Let me double check that. So yeah, double checking the rule, he would just move with the Death Shroud, and then he can attempt Shadow of the Reaper, leaving the Death Shroud. So I'll do it properly. It's in the shooting phase now. Leadership, he passes it. So it literally changes nothing, luckily. So now he redeploys from there, because I guess...
Well, it changes everything.
It would, yeah. Well, because you
could... what you're trying to do, right?
Yeah, because they redeployed off of that move. That necessarily wouldn't be there, but that could redeploy. That could have, what's it called? Not advanced, not withdraw. That could have withdrawn from that move there, all the same. They move forward, causing that, effectively ending up the same. Or when he teleports. I don't know if his teleport, the thing is, I don't know if his teleport counts as a move.
Sure.
Is the thing. So
but that move right there, if he's within 12, I could have done that.
Correct,
right?
Yeah. So all the reactions are still the same, because they could have done that withdrawal when I moved with the Contemptor, and then the Death Shroud moving up, they still would have been within 12 doing the advance. All effectively kind of the same thing. Doesn't need to change the game state too much. He's still going to do his redeploy. Putting him in a pretty dumb
solid
spot.
position.
Like I think it's dumb at the same time, because you can get shot by your whole army. You know what? I don't want to risk him, because like he's going to be right here. They're going to be stubborn. He's going to get charged with Suzerain, Gilliman. These guys could charge. That Contemptor, the Gravis Power Fist, could charge. I might be risking too much by doing that. And the fact that he doesn't have enough attacks to wipe them completely. And I don't have enough, and if I do any shooting at them, you can pull models to make his charge impossible based on, I guess I could teleport over there and the pulls have to come over here, but he'll be too surrounded and he might die. So I'd rather have his support, and I'll have to just cleave through the Ultramarines to get there, I believe, at this point. But I'm not in a bad spot to do so. I got kind of a quickish army. I can catch some of the vehicles so that we're scrapping here for a while. We'll see how it goes, really, is what this is going to amount to be. But I don't think I want to Shadow the Reaper. I'm just going to chill and keep it how it is. Go right on to shooting. We are going to start with Mortarion. He's got the lantern. He's going to shoot the lantern at that rhino right in front of him. You can see the front hull there, the side of the hull there. So he hits on it too. He hits, strength 8, and it's a pen. 5 up cover though from the obstacle in the middle there. No. So he hits clean. The obstacle does not get in the way, and it's AP2. It blows up the rhino. The lantern just pops it in one go. It's going to explode 4 inches. That explosion is not going to hit my guys, but it's going to hit 7 of the veterans, which wounds them on 2s. 2 of them are going to survive that. 5 of them have 3-up saves. But you could put them on the sergeant if he's got 2-ups. I assume he's got Artificer armor.
He does, yep.
Right. So I'll let you figure out however you want to do it.
Yeah, and he's got 2 wounds, so I'll
These are all instant death.
Then no, I can't, because the sergeant's holding the prize. Can't afford to do that. So 3 ups.
3 of them die to the explosion. Because the Apothecary can't help them because it's instant death.
And Shroud doesn't help either if I did that reaction. I should have chosen before, so I won't. But
They have to be targeted by the attack. This is a shot killing that, exploding and blowing them away, yeah.
3 down.
3 of them die to the explosion from the Rhino. Is that just any 3 that are in range? And then there's 10 guys inside. Wait, is it a 10-man tactical squad inside?
It is.
All right, so I'm going to roll up for that. Wounding them. It's only 2 so far. Okay, 6 wounds on them. I assume you just want to do 3 ups on them as well.
We might as well try to get the Sergeant to save him. He's got Artificer.
So 1 at a time on him, 2 ups if he dies. He's okay. He's okay. He saves 1 of their lives. 2 of their lives. Oh, he dies. Okay, and then 1 more 3 up. Oh, wow. Okay, so the Sergeant dies and 1 guy, and then the rest are placed in the footprint of where that Rhino generally is. That's the remnants of the tactical squad in there. They owe me a pinning check. Be leadership not... Oh, actually 8 because of Gilliman, because the Sergeant's dead.
And we did kill the Sergeant.
Yeah.
Good point.
We're okay. Roll me 1 more just in case. This comes up often for... Okay, you're good.
Yeah.
I think it's only... I think you take 1 for being destroyed, then 1 for like...
Yeah, the last edition there was the double thing.
It still exists now, but I don't know if it's exactly the same. It's easier to roll it and then check if you fail.
Yeah, agree.
So that's where they're going to end up there. Okay, we have a few more shots to do. Let's go ahead with these 5 missiles firing at the front of this Rhino here.
Okay.
4s to hit because of the knife fighting. So we got 2 misses. It was actually technically 3s to hit with him, but I think I rolled a 3.
Okay.
And then these are, so that's pen. Actually, they're all pens because you're only armor 11, I believe.
Okay.
Would you like to evade as one of your shooting phase reactions?
I think I need to save it.
Okay, there you go. So we're going to declare evade. So you get 3 5-up evades. That's about it.
Save that reaction.
Save the reaction. Sorry.
Not evade.
So he's dead. He does get destroyed.
Okay.
I don't think I need to roll the damage. So that's, he's actually overly dead. So it's immobilized. So that's 3 hull points, and then he's just shaken. So they have to do leadership for the penetrating hit. I know this one is definitely a double leadership check. They are fine because the Sergeant's still alive.
Plus 1 for Gilliman.
Yep. And then 1 more for the emergency disembark.
We're okay.
Double okay, so we'll go ahead and throw them out there, and we'll get some smoke for that Rhino. For the emergency disembark. All right, off to a great start with our heavy weapons here. The next one, that one popped smoke, so I believe it has a shrouding of some variant already. So we're just going to put all 10 missiles into it over there. And because they have a siege master of siege, a siege master, siege breaker, they get sunder. Siege breaker, that's what it is. All right, so these hit on 4s. Okay, we got a half hit. That's awesome. That's dope. And then we are going to look for, so strength 8. I need 3s essentially. I'll take it. I got 2 pens and 3 glances. There we go. I could re-roll the glances. I don't want to risk it. I don't need the pens. They don't do anything. 6-up cover save because I'm shooting through both my models and your models in the way. So you get 5 6-up cover saves. Do the 2 pens first. 6-up cover.
6-up cover.
All right, and then you have 3 more 6-up glances. So he's going to be, you take 4 hull points.
4 hull points, so he's at least wrecked.
Yeah, let's do the 2 pens. They're just, oh, there's nothing inside.
That's right.
So he's just wrecked.
He's
That's
a wreck.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so we stopped that. I guess they can just go, Johnny Payne has elaborated they can just go hide in the Spartan bunker, which is very true.
That's the plan.
The only way I can kill the Spartan is with Mortarion or my Dreadnought. These guys all have chain fists too. We just have to get there is a problem.
Right.
I actually had a minor heart...
slow you down.
Yeah, your body's going to slow me down. I had a minor heart attack that about shooting at the vehicles with my missiles. I'm like, oh my gosh, knife fighting. I can only shoot 24 inches, but they do have augury scanners. Thank God. I forgot about that part. They still suffer the -1 to hit penalty, but the range thing they do ignore. And I did forget that there's -1. I think your army's stubborn, so I think you're okay against the knife fighting thing. I hope. In the end, it probably won't matter too much, and I'm okay with it either way.
Okay.
I just forgot to check that for the leaderships earlier. Counteracting the Gilliman's +1 leadership. So we're going to go on to the rest of my shooting. So far, everything's been outstanding. Let's go ahead and do the carries from our Contemptor. Got a built-in alchemical flamer as well, but we're not going to fire that. These are just going to go to the vets. These are 3s to hit because it's spooky scary out, and 2s to wound. Oh, one wounding hit, no AP. 3 up! All right, 1 damage. They are 2 wounds each. You get your doctor in that unit, so feel no pain. 1 damage. That guy there will take the wound. All right, and some other shots. Let's just do the tacticals into them too. The tacticals to the veterans, 24 inches goes to the line on these 2 models here. So it's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 shots into them. But because they're Death Guard, they get to Fury even though they move. So it's 26 shots with the bolt gun. Let's do 13 twice. It's like 4s and 4s because of knife fighting. So we have 6 hits in the first volley, which will go into 4 wounding hits. And then these are the second bunch. And then 4, so 8 wounds in total. They're all like, there's a big chunk of them within, so you can just put them on whoever you want here, essentially. Pretty much all 3-ups. Nothing on the sergeant. No damage. Nice. Power armor holds up. The next thing to fire will be the second tactical squad. Anyone in range that can fire will go into this tactical squad here, 24 inches. So I've measured already. It's those 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 dudes. Maybe 12. I gotta measure him. He wasn't in range. So it'll be 12 shots on force. Here's the first half. Well, 24 because of Fury. And forwards. So we have 7 wounds in the first, 6 wounds in the first half. And second volley. And another 4. So 10 wounds on them. So 10 wounds as we shoot down the table of them. However you want. Does the sergeant have artificer armor?
He does. 1
at a time. He's okay. He saves a life, actually. He saves 2 lives. I like when it comes up, it's big. All right. Oh, gosh. No one dies, eh?
These are going to be 3-ups. I don't know why I'm changing.
All right. So
I knew it.
Smart. So 2 guys. Only the guys within 24. They're probably in range. There's a lot of guys out front.
Sure,
yeah, they're good. You're good to go. Well, that's not enough for. I guess they've already passed the penalty check this turn. We're going to fire our Grave Wardens. The front 2 are in range to pepper them with their toxin frag rounds. He's going to lob little toxin grenades at them. I realized the other guy's a chem flamer, so he's not in range. So we hit on 4s and poison 3-up. No, we're good. All right. That should be it for my shooting. We're going to go on to charging.
Check a few things.
Oh, yes.
Reactions.
I'm going to use a shooting phase reaction here.
Yep, so going to use the Ultramarines special reaction, Unity of Purpose. It feels kind of weird using it so early, but I feel like the Grave Wardens could be a big problem for me, and I'll be able to shoot at them with this. So it's similar to Return Fire, except I get to pick another unit to shoot again.
Following all the normal rules for Return Fire.
Yeah. And I believe if they shoot them, I'll get the +1 to hit over here. Or they're 2 up to hit base, so I might shoot here first and then these. So I think that might be a cool interaction. So we're going to go with that.
We're going to shoot with them first because it's still knife fighting. They are within 24-inch range of my Grave Wardens, though, so this does work fine. So we're going to plink some bolt gun shots at them first, which should just be single taps.
That's right.
On 4s because of knife fighting.
Yep.
There's 3 hits and 4s to wound. Okay.
Okay.
And now...
That's not the important part.
But they get +1 to hit now.
Right, that's the big part. So now I can hit on my 2-up ballistic skill.
With the 5 missiles?
Yeah.
There we go.
Into the Grave Wardens.
2s.
On 2s.
Okay. Well, he didn't really need the +1 to hit, apparently, but it still worked out nicely. 2s.
And 2s.
Ooh, that's 4.
This is brutal 2 on your invuln.
Oh, they're brutal as well, eh?
That's
these guys are nasty. I gotta do 4 saves of brutal 2, so the first guy's dead. Shrouding 6-up because they're Grave Wardens. Oh, he actually survives.
Oh, man.
The Grave Wardens have Shroud 6-up. Second one, Shrouding 6-up. So 1's dead.
Okay.
Third one, Shrouding 6-up. Oh! And the last guy tanks it. He only killed 1 with that volley. Interesting.
Wow.
Okay. That Shrouding was big there.
That could have been a panicking.
That could have been.
Yeah.
That could have been, yeah. They're not fearless, they're stubborn. That's about it. Okay, so who do I lose, though? Okay, I'm going to go with the Chem Flamer because I think I'm going to be running the whole time, and I won't need that. The Toxin rounds are going to be better. Then when I said they're going to be running the whole time, like the Ultramarines are going to be running the whole time, so I won't be in range to actually use the Flamer too much. Okay, I got really lucky there with the Shrouding saves. I guess I don't have to worry about that. I forgot about the reaction. Now I don't have to worry about it. That was a good time to use it, though, because you could have punked 3 of them.
It should have killed at least 3, right?
What a nasty squad. That's a disgusting squad. Just because Hold Steady, like, the Mortarian's in there, probably going to kill them anyways.
Yeah, I think it's a waste, so I'll just shoot at you. So, rapid fire, probably 4 guys.
Yeah, 4 guys could shoot at them before I move in. Hitting on 4s because of knife fighting. And 4s to wound. 2 up. We're good. That's where they end up charging. Right there. They get the bonus to their charge, so they kind of got a 10, but they ignore any of the terrain, the area terrain. Even if that was difficult, they would ignore it. We're not playing it as difficult, though, because then it'd be hard to get the objective. So that's where they end up. That's my only charge, and we're good to go. I will... You don't even have a sergeant in there because he died, so Mortarian goes first. He'll pile in there, and he'll fight through that guy with a silence. 7 attacks on the charge, hitting on 3s, because you're a higher weapon skill. Not... I don't even think it'd be 2s normally. He's not weapon skill 9, yeah. So 3s to hit. It's not master crafted. 2s to kill. Kills 3 of them. 3 guys die. And then our regular initiative. pile in, and then you get to pile into me with your guys. So the front 2 guys are in base contact. The other guys are going to wrap up and around. Something like that. I got I got 2 guys. These 2 guys get Reaping Blow active because they're in base contact with those 2 guys in the front there, and then that's about it. So that means they're going to have 4 attacks each. 5 attacks because of charge, actually. And then 3 guys in the back will just have 4 each. I'm going to cleave them down, but your guys, we'll do your attacks first.
All right, they are weapon skill 5.
Yeah, they're hitting on 4s.
Because of my logos for the turn.
Hey, it mattered.
That's handy.
And 4 to wound. 1, 2 up. We're good. To the front row of guys attacking. They hit on 4s. Well, that's actually a bad example of the front 2 guys attacking. Is that just 10 attacks? 4. Yeah, it's the front 2 Reaping Blow guys. These are 2s to kill. Yeah. Because they're only AP3, but these are AP2. They're rending. They're power swords at +2 strength.
Okay.
With Reaping Blow. So that just kills 4.
Yep.
Oh, there's still another guy left? Oh, no, I got to do another attack.
Keep rolling.
12 more attacks. Okay. Oh, gosh. 4 is because of weapon skill good. Like, those would all hit.
Yeah.
The weapon skill's so big. 2s. Got them. They get cleaved up by the power sides.
Good, now I can shoot you next turn.
No. No shooting allowed. And then I get to consolidate. Just surging through the Ultramarine lines, using Mortarian's higher initiative of 5 for the consolidate. That's my turn. We're done. Would you like to roll me a d6 to see if we still have knife fighting? On a 4 up, we continue on the second battle round. Otherwise, it goes away. One more turn. One more turn of night fighting. And
some
might as well see the debris. Oh, one debris comes down. Where do you want this bad boy to go?
Let's take your Dreadnought.
Go for the Dreadnought?
Yeah.
All right, D3 potential damage to him as he gets, okay, not super close to him. Does the deflector protect? No, 1 damage. Some of the orbital debris does land in this general area, and the impact, the upheaval damages him a little bit.
All right, so careful consideration of what the plan is this turn and how the Logos commands play into it. Gonna decide to not declare any of those. The plan here, we're gonna run, try to get to the Spartan. We're probably not gonna get there even if we took the +2 move and fleet from Guilliman, because the downside of that one is I have -1 weapon skill. So gonna charge in and try to hold these guys up, maybe even take them out this turn. I can't afford to take a -1 weapon skill there, so we're not gonna bother with those. However, on that charge, Guilliman's preternatural strategy giving me furious charge will help, so I'm gonna take that one.
All right, perfect.
Yep.
Okay, and then we're on to
line it
movement.
up for a good scrap.
The first move, the veterans with the Archaeotech run towards the immobilized Spartan to act as a bunker, while the Ultramarines can kind of call in reinforcements or secure this battlefield is the goal there. I could advance towards them because it's still within 12 of me. I could withdraw away as well. Probably, as long as they're within 12 and line of sight, which they are still, there's no way they really finagle that. Just because this guy's poking around the corner, looking down that way, which I didn't line up. That just worked out nicely for me. It's just the because you're committed to the bonus weapon skill, and their weapon skill 5, I assume.
Their base 5, yes.
Yeah, and then obviously Gilliman would be a higher weapons skill as well, and all that stuff. So I think I am with.
Yeah. So the +1 weapon skill was last turn, so that's gone. I'm not doing it. So they're just base 5, but they are now strengths probably 5 or 6.
True.
On the charge.
You could just choose weapon skill again next turn.
Yeah.
Oh, but then.
Yeah, so I'll go for weapon skill next turn, but I can't do them twice in a row. So I didn't do weapon skill because that one would have been helpful for me, but yeah, I guess we should clarify that. That's why I picked no logos, because weapon skill +1 is not available.
I also only have 1 movement phase reaction, unfortunately, so I'd have to save it for the remorseless one if I wanted to, based on what's getting shot at or where things are. I need the rest of my army to kind of keep up a little bit. Now, granted, I have some jump pack guys I can get there, and there's still quite a bit of game to play, so I got to think about this one. Do I run away, making his charge harder, at the very least? Because it'd be a pretty long combat. That's not going to be resolved right away. But they're both fearless, naturally. Pulling those guys into a more precarious situation where I can get a lot of chain fists and a lot of other things in there as well. So I think that's a tough call. Because I can't feel no pain their shots. I can actually, because they're battle hardened. You know what? I'm gonna chill. I think I'm just gonna chill. I'm not gonna react. I'm not gonna react there. Okay. Their reaction's amazing, but I only have 1 movement phase reaction. That's a shooting phase reaction, isn't it? What am I talking about? I can do both. All right, yeah, so we're going to withdraw away from that move there. So we're moving directly away from them. Tacticals are going to move to screen.
Yep. And I'll pop them out of here to make sure I can't get templated.
Right.
These guys need to do their job and pull you away. So unfortunate I don't get to fight you with the Caesarean, but I feel like you'll force the issue a bit. But this is a ticking clock for me, right? I just need to survive for long enough to
and this is
keep
also
the prize, right? So
this move I'm not super convinced on. I just didn't, again, the same issue. I don't want the whole army could have shot at them and then being charged by Power Fist, Caesarean, Guilliman.
So it's a hard one, right? Because you know, a super juiced up squad of Caesarean with Furious Charge, getting the extra attack on you.
Praetor in there as well.
So I don't think you had a good choice either way. So
and this way my army can keep up.
Right.
All right. Well, they screen. That's a good idea to screen because it slows them down further.
Yep.
Now, Mortarion could try and get through that, but we'll see where that ends up.
Yep.
And then we move the Contemptor with the pair of carries up this way. The Contemptor moving forward, same idea, just getting range to shoot his plasma. Gilliman's little Death Star moves forward. We're right on to shooting. Where do you want to start?
We'll shoot here because I believe the well, I'll shoot here because their base 2 up. Does the night fighting
still counteract? It still makes it harder to hit with. Yeah, so you want to fire with them.
So
first.
I do want to fire with them first. They'll rapid fire, so we'll resolve that really quick.
Oh, the bolter shots, these are hitting on 4s because of night fighting.
Yep.
Okay, not bad start. 4s to wound. Okay. These will just be 2-ups. Take a wound. It's on this guy here because he's in line of sight range. He's got to take it. I could return fire and try and clear the screen out a little bit here, which is kind of the tempting problem. Which I think I'm going to do it. And now Johnny Payne was well aware of this before he shot, so I'm going to do so. I'm going to throw a Phosphex grenade and then 5 Wall of Flames, but they have gets hot, so I got to roll that up. So we're going to do the guy who has a wound on first. He does not get hot, and then I'm going to roll rapid fire this way, that way. So 2, 3. They're all good. Okay, so none of them gets hot, and then we are going to throw the Phosphex grenade first, though. It makes the most sense to place it like right on top of that guy's head. Yeah, I'll let you hold it right there.
Okay.
Let's see what we get here. Direct hit. All
okay.
Right. It's got lingering death. I can't get more than 5 hits, so poison 3 up. So it kills 4 of them. Okay. He's got 7 Phosphex bombs. So guys within 6 inches, essentially. And then I'll put a little marker to show the difficult ground there. I think I placed it right on that guy's head. And then I have the Wall of Flames from these guys. Because their flamers have to be Wall of Flames. A little bit below average, so that's 8 shots. Fleshbane, because that's what their alchemical flamers do, so that's going to be 7 wounds on them. Just 2 up saves or 3 up saves, however you want to do it.
Okay.
Because I assume he's got Artificer. I think he does.
He does have Artificer armor.
Save some lives earlier. Yeah.
So let's do him.
He's alive. He's alive. No. He's good.
The hero we need.
Oh, he dies.
He's dead. 3 up.
Oh, 2 guys die.
2 guys.
Boop, boop. Yeah, it could be anyone, because they're all within the Wall of Flame range.
Yep.
And then that'll be... oh, no, you don't take leaderships from reactions. We got the nasty Terminators in the back firing now.
Yep, we'll go ahead and shoot their bolters. Twin linked.
And they have firing protocols, too, so they get bolters and the missiles on top,
That's
naturally.
Right. And they're base 2 up, 3 up for night fighting, but back to 2 up because they're within 6 inches.
Yeah.
Luckily, they survived because I didn't want to have to read the book to understand if they'd still get the +1 if they were dead. So,
I would assume not, because they're technically not within 6 inches.
Right. So we'll hit on 2s.
With the bolters.
Twin link.
True. Forced wound, because T4. Boom, boom.
Okay.
I'm going to put these on Mortarion, because I don't want that one guy to die here yet. Mortarion's going to take a wound. Mortarion's going to have 6 remaining wounds. And then we got the missiles. The missiles!
Here's the nasty missiles on 2s.
Back to 2s, yep.
No 1s would be helpful. That's very helpful.
2s to wound.
Wounding on 2s.
Oof.
Great.
5 brutal saves.
Brutal.
These are going to go in the death shroud here. So the first guy who's wounded, he has 2 5-ups. He does die. And then we're just going to keep going on the death shroud because this is like a real nasty attack. First guy, he takes, they have 3 wounds each, and they're T5 for instant death, so they can't be killed by this. So
he takes 1.
He takes 1, and then I have 3 more to do.
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry. You know, that's correct. That's accurate. Yeah. Oh, he tanks both of those. Oh, making these guys... Oh, okay, now he's dead. And then the last one. 1 more guy takes the damage. So that guy died. One. That guy dies, and then this guy takes the damage.
Okay.
That's where we're at. We keep chaining it. The recon team's within 6 of them, so we're going to fire, and they get +1 to hit, counteracting the knife fighting, so back to 3s. And these are snipers, so these shots can go wherever you want. Into Mortarion or just the Terminators?
We're just trying to take the Terminators.
Gotcha. So they all hit there, and they're strength 5, so 3s. Is there rending on this?
They do rend.
Okay. 1 invuln, which I make, and 1 2 up. Oh, take damage. That guy's down to 1.
Yep.
Now we're going to go for the Contemptor, firing over this way. Only Morty and the 1 Death Shroud are within range. 3s to hit because of knife fighting with both the carries. 2s to wound. 2 fails and 6 is rend. Is there any rends?
Oh, wow.
7 saves, however, 2 ups. These are going to go, I guess, 3 at a time on the Terminator. Because otherwise, I guess I can roll them all at the same time. Okay, they tank them all. And they're all firing their bolt guns.
Yep. And they're within 6 inches of
True,
them,
yeah.
so they're going to get the +1, so they're back to their 3 up.
And they're shooting, if anyone's curious, they can see through the bunker.
Yeah.
They can see Mortarion. So these...
yeah,
keep
you
it
want to split them
simple.
up?
Yeah, because those 3 have to go on Morty. The other 2 can go into the Terminators.
Yeah. So these are the thing at Mortarion.
Okay.
On 3s.
A couple hits. That wounds the
Those
unit
are
still.
wounds.
These are Morty saves. He makes both into the Death
The
Shroud.
others at the Death Shroud on 3s. Wounding on 4s.
2 more. 1 damage. That's a dead Death Shroud. They're fearless. They don't have to do leadership. The Combi Bolter from the Praetor as part of that unit.
Yep.
And then Gillen's got a shot at
Yeah.
as well.
And I don't believe he's in rapid, so just 1 shot. That's a hit. Wounding on a 4, that'll wound.
2s. Oh, wow. That guy back there. Gilliman's, what does he have? On 2's the Arbiter. It's a fancy bolt gun. Both hit.
Okay, don't need the Master Crafted.
3s to wound with rending. 5 up. Oh, 2 rends.
2 rend.
Those both rends, so invulns. Make both.
Oh,
Nice.
man, that's big.
Spartan's up next, and he's firing near the Gilliman squad, so
Yep.
it's +1 to hit.
So these 2 will go into this squad, and then this las cannon will go back towards the Contemptor. Power of the Machine Spirit will let him split.
Let's do the Contemptor first.
Okay, here's the 2 on the Contemptor,
Reroll for twin linked.
and I'll need 4s.
No, it was +1 to hit, but it's knife fighting still, so bam. Yeah.
Oh, 3s, yep.
Oh, yeah.
So
Put the spotlight on him, I guess, the searchlight, because he's outside of 24.
good point.
Yep. And then, did you roll the wound already? What was the page?
Nope, that was just the 3 up to hit.
That's wound. A deflector makes, nope, that's 1 damage on a 4. The rest over here.
Okay, this will be the las cannons into the Terminator.
Both hit.
Both hit. Wounding on 2s.
Ooh, nice. Invulns, 5 up. No, it's only 2 damage though, luckily. So
Kill
I
the guy.
kills him. And then we got the heavy bolter. All right, into
Heavy Bolter.
the heavy bolters. Reroll for twin linked.
Twin linked.
Yep, it hits.
Be a
Gets
+1, yep. Wounding on 4s.
2 of them.
2.
2s. We're good. Nope,
oh,
not quite.
that's a wound.
The missiles want to fire next to get +1 hit, but only the guys on the top level can see over this. So we only half the shots. But they ignore the knife fighting and all that fun stuff. We're going to actually change the target to this Contemptor over here to
Yeah.
get the full range of shots.
Get all 10, yeah.
They
I
ignore
feel like
knife
it's
fighting
important.
completely
Yeah.
with the,
We've done really good work over here, so I think it's time to move on.
2s. 1 missile strays.
Okay.
And then these are all 3s to wound. Yep, that was
Yep,
right.
strength 8, T7.
And just a handful of fails. 6 saves. See the Ceramite on the Contemptor
Do
to
it.
protect it. 1 goes through.
Okay.
Takes off a little bit of his wounds. We got 3 remaining. And then we still have the Plasma Contemptor to fight.
Yep. Okay, shooting the plasma cannon quick gets hot. We're okay. We're going to target the Dreadnought here.
See if it gets him.
-5, so that's 1 inch that way. Still a hit.
Yeah. There's knife fighting as well. He gets, does he get +1 to hit? Nothing near him shot. 2 inch scatter still hits the front of the base there. Does it wound?
I guess I need to check if it's breaching.
This is the wound roll, yeah, on a 4 up.
Right.
It does.
Do something.
It
Okay,
does wound.
breaches.
My deflector does not stop it. Just go ahead and put him down to 2.
All right.
All right. He's taking some damage. We got the Combi Bolter next on a 3. And that same roll. Oh, nice.
Hey.
2 up.
Okay.
That will conclude shooting. We're fearless. No morale checks there. Okay. Would you like to charge? I think that's a suicidal charge for them because I think Morty would
is.
kill them.
Yeah, it's not smart.
You have your 4 up invuln. He's not brutal or anything, but he's
Yeah,
instant.
they'll swing last.
Yeah.
Their shooting does so much for me. I can't afford to give away the shooting,
The other trick
especially
is
this early. Right, top of turn 2.
if they survive, big if,
Right.
they would tie Morty up because right now Morty can just teleport over to them because he's got the Shadow of the Reaper. So
Sure.
he can. So if he's tied up, he can't do that. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing. So he can go and try and. So what I'm trying to think on it's a tricksy play on my turn. I was going to try and Shadow of the Reaper
Yep.
and charge. And then consolidate further away from them to drag them in that direction,
Right.
and then have my army move up this way.
How many swings does he have?
7 on the 6 with the Shadow of the Reaper,
Right.
and they're not stubborn anymore.
They aren't stubborn.
Yeah.
So, but you could swing them out, and if they're running away, because I have the regroup stratagem that could help them come back. So I think I'm okay if he decimates them.
He can kill the sergeant if he wants to. He's a Primarch, yeah.
I think I'm okay if it's dropped in my back lines. Right?
Okay,
So I'm just thinking through that.
Yeah.
I think I'm good with that.
That works for me too.
Because I can then I can just smoke him, right? So
True.
I don't know. Yeah, I think Stormbolter, the Fulmintaris, are too good to waste in combat.
Well, see, they're part of the I can't remember what the supplement's called, but it's where a lot of the legions got their unique units, but they weren't play tested. They're just given stats and points to represent how they kind of play.
And so we're trusting Battlescribe. If we're doing this totally wrong, we're sorry. Tell us in the comments.
A lot of this seems very familiar from them. It's just like a lot of the unique units have like they're paying, like they're not cheap. They're pretty expensive.
They're not. They're 400 something points.
Just for 5 guys, right?
Guys,
but their rules are like way over the top. So it really hurts to lose them. So you got to be cautious. The Bat Squad's more expensive than Mortarion is, essentially.
Yep.
If no charges, we're good. We're going to go on to my turn.
Yes, sir.
And that will be turn 2 for the Death Guard. I'm just going to roll the debris if we get it first. No debris yet.
It's been...
What we're going to do here is Mortarion's going to detach from that singular Death Shroud. They've done their job as bodyguards. He's going to move 7 that away, but he's going to stay outside of 12 of the veterans. Morty moves that direction, staying outside of 12 of them, and then this Death Shroud moves forward there. But it's kind of quickly moving, so if you want to do any, did you want to react to Mortarion's move?
Yeah, I'm thinking about,
that's right, the Rhino's dead.
That one's dead.
I
Can't do that, right?
No trigger off, no withdraw from Mortarion or advance, but when I move my Death Shroud up, Gilliman's unit does withdraw directly away from them at the initiative. So protecting the veterans a little bit.
Yeah, thought process here, because you can do your 10-inch teleport, but you have to stay 3 inches away. So I'm trying to plug up this area, right? Because you can't fit here, you're too close to models. So the thought was trying to plug up here, but the reaction says you have to move directly away. So I didn't react to Mortarion, but I did react to him, because that pushes me in a more favorable direction to kind of plug up this area. So
Mortarion's withdrawal would have been that way.
Right. So just trying to protect the squad with the prize, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to just delay it for a turn while my army catches up. It puts Mortarion in a precarious situation, but I think enough things would be dead that I wouldn't have to worry too much, other than the Gravis Fist is still there, but I can't do much about that. Okay, so that's it for those moves. We're going to go ahead and activate the jump axe over here and move them. Move here. Because of Creeping Death, they ignore all difficult, they automatically pass difficult terrain checks. Same with the Death Shroud walking into the Phosphex there. Which means the Fulmintaris are going to redirect. That's actually...
We can't like I said, right, can't afford to lose shooting by getting charged by that.
That was a misplay on my part. I should not have moved there, because that puts them behind line of sight of this. I guess no, I can see through it still. It should be okay-ish. But it puts them a little bit further away than I would have liked, so I wanted to just shoot a lot of bolt guns into them. But that's it. There's no more movement reaction, so I can move freely, I suppose. To this side of the table, this Dreadnought's going to move to here. We're going to try and suicide it. Do as much damage to your Dreadnought as I can before I go down. I'm going to activate their jump packs, and we're going to move these tacticals forward as well. So all of this, the tacticals move forward. Just Death Guard walk up the field, holding down the trigger on the bolt guns. I guess we're going to move these 2 squads forward as well. Okay. There we go. We got the Grave Wardens and the tacticals moving forward. The last thing to move, probably just keep those heavy weapons where they are, because they can see most of the table. And then we're going to move this heavy weapon team into this gap here. There we go. We're going to go on to the shooting phase now. You have 1 shooting phase reaction I got to watch out for. So, let's start with this brick of Tactical Marines firing shots into the Contemptor Dreadnought there. Just to see if I can do damage to him. Everyone will be able to fire except for these 2 guys in the back. They're a little bit too far away. So it'll be 18 shots. Well, 36 because of the Fury. Here's the first half. You're still forced to hit though because of knife fighting. This is the last turn for knife fighting. 6s to potentially wound. So we have 3 wounds on the first half. Second attempt. 4s. And 6s. So 4 in total. Can his Ceramite hold against the overwhelming amount of bolt? Oh, 2 damage.
Ouch.
Well, he's down to 4. He's gonna start with 6. Next, we're gonna do the carries into him as well from my Contemptor. Here's 6 shots from the carries on 3s because it's spooky scary out. I need 5s to hurt you though. 3 wounds, 1's rending.
2 normal, 1 rend.
1 damage. Would you like to return fire there? Nope. Oh, I gotta do the flamer still. The flamer's in range is just a thing. It gets hot. Don't kill yourself, you dummy. Nope. Wounds on a 2. However, you're a Dreadnought. I gotta reroll it. That's still wounds. And just a regular save. 2 up.
Come on. Okay.
Yeah, no AP on that. It's a tough call, but I think I want to do this squad firing missiles into your Fulmintaris Terminators. I can only see 3 of them. 2 are still hidden. We'll see what they do, though. They hit on 4s. Ooh, that's a good start. Now, these are only AP3, so you have 2-up saves here. 2 wound, yep. So you have that many 2-up saves. There's 7. Okay. 2 pluses. I kill 4 of them.
I need to shroud.
You could evade, or you could return fire. Up to you. That means the 4 are dead, though. So,
right. So you can only kill 3, right? But
correct. I can only kill 3. Yeah.
They're so important. That's been a theme. I need to get my 5-up shroud.
So there's still 3 die though. Yeah.
Hurts.
Yeah. Only those 3 there I could see. So 2 are left, and then I'm just gonna put the other 5 missiles in them as well. And again, they can shoot over 24 because they have augury scanners. 4s. Only 2 hit and 2s. 2 more 2-ups. You fail 1. So 1 of the 2 die there. So they're taking a pretty big hit too. It's a brutal game.
Yep. Did test.
At the end of the phase, I might have a couple more shots on him with the toxic rounds. We're gonna do, because you can't return fire, I'm gonna fire at that contemptor over there with my bolt pistols.
Okay.
At range, they're all within 12, but they'll still be -1 to hit. 4s. Oh, nice, not bad. Well, I still need 6s to hurt you, and I have to get through that 2-up. 1 maybe. No, I'll do my Grave Warden Terminators. They're gonna only 2 of them have range to fire through the bunker at that Fulmintaris. It'll be 8 shots because they're gonna do the toxic rounds. 4s, okay, and 3s, poison 3 up. So okay, it's 7 saves at 2 up. We don't fight fair. We use toxic. 1 wound. He's still alive. I'm gonna figure out whatever baby bolt gun shots I could do into him from the tactical squad that move forward. Again, I'm only firing through that window there, so. This row of 5 models I can fire, because these guys are 2 blocks by the Terminators. I see the Terminators are too bulky, so they're shooting, and they don't block their own line of sight. So we got 10 shots coming down. Let's see how accurate they are. 4s to hit. We got 2 saves. You're good. Nice. Okay, so that's all my shots you can do leaderships. I think just on that one guy. Rather high though. Yeah, he's good to go. Okay. Well, technically I have to teleport Mortarion. This is a gamble because I could fail leadership. Oh, he barely passes. He's leadership 10. I don't know if it can be modified by knife. He's fearless. It wouldn't be.
And let's see where you can fit.
All right, I got a 10-inch move. Okay, looking at where you can go, you can just go right there beside the wrecked Rhino. I could clear the destroyed Rhino. I could go on top of it, but it's the same distance either way, essentially, because they're pushing me 3 inches to the top of the Rhino, and I might as well just keep the smoke there. So he's just gonna teleport right there.
Nice.
Redeploying there. He's got veteran. Now this is a dumb move, but he might be a little bit more resilient to just the threat of the missiles and the Suzerain instead of the missiles, the Suzerain, the snipers, and all this stuff. Plus, I got these guys creeping up too, so they might do something. And that's about it. That is about it. So now we're on to charging. Well, let's go ahead and start this off. We're gonna go with. It's a tough call. These Assault Marines are gonna declare charge against these 2 tacticals here.
Okay.
You can see the charge. I get +2 to it. They get to go because they're active. Jump packs are active, so they get to go up to 7. Okay. Would you like to Overwatch or hold steady here?
Nope.
Nice. I assume not. Yeah. They are going to charge in like that, and then we're going to go. We're going to try a Death Shroud charge into the what's his name? Not Fulmintaris. It is Fulmintaris.
It is. Yep. Go for it.
Oh, a 10. Well, 11 actually. Would you like to Overwatch or hold steady there?
So I don't think I can see you. So,
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because you do it from where I am. You can still hold.
Very sneaky. No, I won't hold.
No, yeah, okay. So he'll just go directly in closest. He'll just end it right there. So we'll have Elite Terminator versus Elite Terminator. Hopefully I win. Then we're gonna move on to my Contemptor charging your Contemptor there. I get +1 to this roll. I think I need to show 7 on the dice. Ooh. Oh, because I'm within 8. Wait, I was within 8 to. Yeah, so it's an 8-inch charge, but I get +1 to the charge because I'm a Dreadnought. This one you can hold steady or set to or Overwatch if you wanted to, I suppose. Either way, the same. I'm trying to make this. We fight at the same time. This is hopefully mutually assured destruction. Debating on the reaction here, we're gonna go with hold steady. So leadership check on Contemptor. With Gilliman, you're good. Yep. You're gonna pass because fearless on Dreadnoughts. They ignore the knife fighting penalty. So we're fighting on even ground there. So no more reactions. I'm gonna charge my Assault Marines into the double carries. I get +2 to this. Only a 7. They're probably gonna fail that.
I was gonna charge you.
I needed an 8 there. That's really bad. That's rough for them. But they tried. Get the surge though. That is the surge there. To the Mortarion charge into the veterans for
Don't
dramatic
look like
effect.
a fool. Oh,
off the table. 2.
Oh no.
He biffs it. He fails it. Well, that's I can't. That's the dice.
Oof.
All right. So that unfortunately out of all of that, those are the 2 charges I needed to make to get into a good position. Those, I like to call these. I might have lost the game on those, but we're gonna see. We're gonna do the ultimate return after this, and then we'll figure it out from there. Okay, well that is it. We're gonna resolve these charges. I am gonna do this fight first. 4 attacks for the same. Are you skill 5 on them?
I think they are.
You know what? It don't matter.
Ooh.
To punch me back.
Here's mine.
The 6 definitely hits. 2 to wound.
Yep.
And 5 up. We take a wound.
Death, yeah.
Boom. Let's do the Dreadnought fight. I'll do mine first for the dramatic effect. I hit once. Does it wound? No. All right.
Luck's turning in my favor.
Oh, boy.
Finally, it's almost been the whole week.
That's true, yeah.
Oof.
You got a hit.
Come on, crush him.
You do wound, and I die. He does die. He explodes 3 inches. Does it hurt your Dreadnought? It does not. So he is dead. Womp womp. All right, that's probably game. That's okay. Should conclude my turn. That was actually I went from a potential winning position to I lost the game in the charge phase. But that's Heresy, baby. That's Heresy. That's okay. I've been having really good luck with Heresy lately, so I'm okay to take.
And the majority of this game, right?
Actually, that's true.
Murdering these off one.
Everything has worked for me this game perfectly, and then that just went downhill fast. But that's okay.
We'll see though.
We get to see Ultramarine turn 3. There's no more knife fighting.
Yep.
So Gilliman should be that guy should be a pretty easy target. You got the Dreadnought with the Gravis. You got all the heavy support. I mean, if you have a monumentally bad turn, and then Mortarion somehow carries on his own, there's always hope. That's why he got played out, but I suspect that won't be the case. I have to do this fight here. Oh. You swing, do your attacks at me, then we'll just pull them. I'll do Consolidate, and then I'll pile and Consolidate and everything.
2 attacks, I think.
I got a hit, and no.
Okay.
Yeah, they got power axes and sides in there. At the same time on the rolling dice.
You got it.
Boop, boop, boop. And plus, I could potentially whiff this too.
Yeah.
You know what? Oh gosh, I'll just do the power scythe because someone's gonna be like, Luka, you rolled so badly there. You should have rolled it up. So power scythe gets a hit. Doesn't kill a guy.
Okay.
And then these guys would have all piled in. They would have piled in later. So the chainswords all pile in. I'm just ideally leaving the models not there, so I don't have to put them back. But that hole's where one is. That hole's where the other one is. 21 chainsword attacks. Vroom, vroom, vroom. We have 4 hits on the first one. Shreds. We got two so far, and then I got 1 more attempt in here. Ooh, that was a much better roll. And 4s with shred. So 2. So it's 7, 8, 9, 10 saves. 10 3-ups. So here's 6.
Oh, there's 10. I happen to grab 2. You got me.
Yeah, boom,
good.
Down. Huzzah. And then they consolidate. So they're going to end up with the consolidation, and then we have to see if Mortarion will gain a wound back. He does not, for it will not die at the end of my turn as the Primarch there. Okay, now we're on to turn 3 for the Ultramarines. Back to the action here. Let's see if some debris come crashing down on our heads.
No.
No, not yet.
Okay, so at the start of the turn, going to the Logos, we're going to go back with Retribution Strike, so +1 weapon skill, +1 to charges, with the downside being -1 ballistic skill. So planning for a close combat heavy turn here.
Yeah.
Then for Guilliman's Preternatural Strategy, not a lot that's going to do anything for us here because I declared Furious Charge last turn, can't do it again. We're going to go with Fleet 2 to make sure all those charges work out for me.
Yeah, I like the sounds of that. There's a few very tight moves we have to do here, but it's going to make sense.
Yep.
Yeah. First easiest move.
Yep.
Veterans inside the spawn.
Yep. We're going to take the prize with
The
us.
hatch over here.
Yep. We'll run, hop in there. Apothecary is not going to do much for us inside, so he will break away from the unit.
We did talk about, we were talking about that off camera earlier. I was like, I'm not fully paying attention. Apothecaries can't leave and join other units. Once they're on the unit, they're committed to it forever.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well then he's going to be in the
in there with them
transport.
as
He's
well,
gone.
Yeah. That's because they're not independent characters. Tapped with the double carry, he's going to move backwards. I'm not going to react to that because I need to save my one reaction to try and keep Mortarion alive here. Problem is, Mortarion, the plan here, which makes the most sense, is the Suzerain and the Praetor go and challenge these guys, which means they want to back off. But then I'm kind of stuck, fighting the Dreadnought and Guilliman in a challenge, which is not ideal. So what I want to do is make Mortarion, back up. But I can't do that either because you could just move the Dreadnought this way.
I think that is the plan, so that'll probably be my next move here.
So, but if the Dreadnought goes that way, I would draw Mortarion that way. Then I'm stuck fighting only Guilliman, which is nice. So it's a tough one. Yeah, so he'll go that way. So I think my only option is to If I stay there, the dreadnought won't be able to fit. Let me. Oh, he can go. He can fight from the top of that. Yeah. You just like kind of push it out of the way.
It's a longer charge.
The problem is these guys need to live, so I think I'm gonna hold the reaction for these guys because I got the melta bomb that I can try and get that. So I have to like try. No matter what, Mortarian's stuck like Chuck. He ain't getting anywhere. You never want to be like Chuck, dude. So that sucks for him. So I'm not gonna react to that.
Okay. So then. Yeah, so I'm not going to be able to stay outside of a foot to prevent you from making the reaction.
Yeah.
So I'll just go ahead. We will.
Or you could just try and charge from there.
Yeah.
Oh, but then Gilman's part of it. They have to detach, essentially.
Right.
Yeah, to get done what needs to be done here.
Yeah.
So the Suzerain and the Praetor are going to move away. These guys are going to withdraw as part of the reaction to try and... You can still roll the charge up. They're only initiative 4, so where they end up. My only reaction. So here comes Gilman. Hello? Hello?
Forcing the issue.
That should be it for movement. And we're on to shooting.
Melta bombs too?
They also have a single melta bomb. Single melta bomb. Single melta bomb. That's the tricks are where the melta bombs are. So you have to like Johnny Payne has to be careful where he shoots because I got the Death Guard reaction, Remorseless. It's a big gotcha one, so you always let your opponent know about it. So it's like don't shoot these guys because they can do a 7-inch move this way, making it hard for them to catch them, and then they jump charge or something because that thing's immobilized. It can't move. It's literally a fortress right now.
Yeah.
So like the safest shots are like just down at my missiles or whatever, or my tacticals. But you don't want the tacticals getting too far forward.
I think I need to shoot over here.
That's
Otherwise
a safe one.
He's doing nothing, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Do you want to react?
I get to see after all those shots are resolved. That one I have to decide now. I'm not going to. I think I'm going to save it for here. So it's going to be one of those like they don't get shot. I'm not going to use the reaction because they're not going to get shot at, but I have to hold it in my pocket to make sure they don't get shot at. It's one of those situations. 2s to hit because there's no knife fighting. 1 miss. And then these are 2s to wound. 6 is rend. We have 2 fails and a rend.
2 rend.
I'm going to put these on just 3 up saves. That kills 1 guy. And there's 2 rends, which are going to be 5 up covers because of the ruins. One more guy dies. Yeah, just a guy with a chainsword in the ruins, essentially. Yeah. That one's done. Where else would you like to go? Let's careful because you don't want to shoot Mortarian either because he could sneak 7 inches that way, making the Dreadnought charge harder.
Yep.
You know what a great target is? These guys are going to fire at them. That's actually great. I forgot that you have the missiles. I couldn't quite see them though.
Yeah.
There's no point doing the feel no pain here, but I could do the move. But a lot of my guys up front are going to die anyways. Go ahead and hitting on 2s.
Yep. It would be hitting on 2s, but I'm -1 ballistic skill for the Logos thing, so on 3s.
And nothing else nearby is shot at the same target, so.
That's right.
You could shoot with the Spartan first if you wanted to make him hit on 2s, but it doesn't really matter. 2s to kill, effectively. I'll get cover from intervening models, though.
Yep.
2s. You can probably see all of them except for these guys, I'd assume. So what do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. 6 guys who aren't necessarily all that important. 1 guy, so 5 are going to die, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably should have pulled them. I could have evaded some of those. I still have 2 more to do, so I'll do Chainsword guy there. Keep taking cover saves on him because he made 1 earlier. And then I got 1 more. It's this guy back here, unfortunately. Oh, he cover. Nice. I'm not going to evade or anything, so we'll leave it at that. They have a leadership to take though later. We forgot that the Contemptor would have been hitting on 3s because the Logos reduces their... Yeah, I think we forgot about the first turn too, but it's okay.
Kill 2 guys. It's not a huge deal.
Exactly.
If it comes down to it, I'll give you a guy back.
Nah,
2, right?
I don't mind.
Spartan is going to go ahead and shoot at this guy with the bolter and this las cannon. This one will just go put over into your attack squad or something.
Sure. Attack squad first.
Okay. Twin las.
1 reroll because they hit on. Oh, did something else? Yeah, no, it's 1.
Now they're +1, right?
That's just shoot the same target. That weapon doesn't get the +1 because it's firing over here. 1 reroll. It hits anyways.
Okay.
2s to wound.
Yep.
I'm gonna roll for the cover in the way. We make 1 guy dies. We don't get a doctor save against that. That's the squad here. Yeah,
yep.
Whatever. We'll save the guy in the back. We'll take that guy. I don't care. Heavy bolters over here. These ones I'm gonna use the Remorseless on. I'll use the reaction here to try and save them a little bit. So reroll. Hitting on 4s. Yeah. Actually, no. They'll hit. They would have been hitting on 3s because you got +1 because something else within 6 shot at them. Yeah.
Right.
3s to wound. 2 saves. I'm going to put that on... I can only put it on these 2 guys, so that's all you can see. So we'll start with this guy here. He's okay. He's okay so far. And then we have the las cannons. 1 reroll. -1, +1. Yeah,
we were saying 4s, right?
Yeah, should be 3s here.
Oh, it's into these guys. Yep,
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay, so 2 to wound.
Okay,
just 6 up cover because the intervening models. That's going to pace this guy. It's tough to say. I think that last cannon can only.
I think it can only.
That's it. Boom. That's it. That you don't have to worry about that squad anymore. That's my melta bomb gone. Don't get to move. It doesn't really matter now. Yeah. They're right here. Leadership on them. They're gonna stick. Firing over at my dudes over there.
Yep.
4 up saves.
Well, hitting on 4s because of the logos for the turn.
2 wounds.
Strength 5, 2 wounds.
One's rending. So 3 up for the regular one, dead, and then the other one gets cover. He's okay. Tempest is going to put his plasma cannon down here. These guys are a threat. They have chain fist still, so they have to be dealt with at some point.
Yep.
But ideally, get Mortarion dealt with, and then the Legion Daddy for the Ultramarines, Bobby G, can just goaltend for the fortress for the rest of the game. Aiming there, should be 4 hits on a direct, which it will be. And then these are 2s to wound. And 2s. Breaches on 4s. So that's 3 breaches. Was that a 1?
That was a 2.
Oh, 2s wound. 2s wound. So the 2 up, I get save, and then the breaches. 2 guys die because 1 guy dies because it's only strength 7, and then 1 tactical marine's hit as well. Tactical marine is wounded. 3 up save. We have a doctor in there. That's the guy died. This guy's line of sight. He'll die. This guy could die as well.
Okay, shoot.
Those guys have shrouded. That 1 guy would have had shrouded, but he dies still. And then we got the bolter from Bobby G into Morty.
Okay, into Morty.
2s, both hit.
Those are 2s.
6 is to wound. That's a wound. Yeah, it's rending as well. Barber and plate. We're good. That's it. We have charges to do. You can't fail your charge in a Morty.
Would you like to react?
I'll just make it a disorder charge. I'll try to. I do. There we go. And then I assume the Suzerain and the Praetor want to go into the...
We'll just crunch this guy real quick.
Yeah, so charge into him, go kind of wherever you want. I'm just going to pull him. Praetor would just crush him. Okay. He's only got 1 wound.
Then we'll consolidate over here.
Yeah, you can consolidate closer towards... Or you can go backwards and goaltend the... I don't really need to,
well, we're goaltending from them, right?
Yeah, that's
so we need to stop them. He's going to get over here and hold them up. Because they can't run, if I block them for a turn, I think they're mathematically out of getting over here with their chain fist, which is what I'm afraid of, right? Okay.
So the Fomenteris and the Suzerain will move in that direction with the Praetor, just kind of protecting that from my other squad over there.
And we went a little out of order because I think we should have charged here first, but he's going over here. Long bomb, but we'll see.
You get +3 to the charge. I don't know. You have to just roll it up.
I am fleeting, that's right. +2, I believe.
He gets the Dreadnought +1,
you're
+3.
right.
Yes.
So he's,
that'd be a fail. So he'll surge forward 4 inches. Boom. Hello. So surge to there. Just has to go directly towards them. And then we got the fight in the middle there. I'm going to assume you're faster. The option to use the Handed Dominion here makes the most sense. It's brutal 2, wounds me on 2s, hit me on 3s. Yep. All makes sense. Yeah.
Unwieldy though, so
go last.
Go ahead. Yep.
You are weapon skill 8 currently because of your logos. Which affects everything but vehicles. Interesting. It's okay. It doesn't apply to Gilliman, which means he also gets the better BS. He gets his BS, but it didn't really matter. I made my saves. So we're hitting on 4s against each other with silence. I don't think so. I'll double check. If it's mastercrafted, I'll go look. But no mastercrafted there. Your toughness enough to wound on this. Invuln saves on Gilliman.
How many?
4 of them.
All right.
Yeah. And then you reroll the first fail.
Oof.
You're good.
Roll.
No damage. The Hand of Dominion. You have 7 attacks.
Oh, it is the hand.
Charge. Yeah.
That's right.
Hit me on 4s, rerolling 1 of them because it's mastercrafted. You just get the 1 reroll there. Okay, that's all of it. And then 2s to 2s is brutal as well.
Yeah, strength 10, AP 1 brutal.
This will kick the crap out of Morty.
Okay.
Galen's one of the better duelists.
Yep.
So I'm going to take 5 damage, and then he dies. Dies. Boom. That's it.
Ooh.
Morty, the Handed Dominion is one of the better weapons in the game. So it's like, boom. That's why I didn't want this fight. My goal for that turn was I was going to charge them, consolidate, and then consolidate away, and then made it so if you didn't move towards me, all the charges were hard, and if you moved towards me, I'd withdraw further away. And then when you commit to chasing Morty, he could shadow the Reaper away. He's a very elusive guy, but he can't fail a charge because he gets caught, especially with a better duelist on the table. That's game. I'll call it there.
With that, I'll have to concede. Good game, Luka.
Fair. Yeah, I appreciate that.
I'm sure I forgot a rule that would have made an impact on the game, so you win. Congratulations.
There is something to be said about I could probably kill him with shooting, and then these guys can creep up, those guys can creep up, but not with the goalkeepers he has set up there. So it'd be the rest of the game wouldn't be that interesting. The relic will be secured. A Thunderhawk is gonna fly in. Because that's what they're waiting for. Because they could have drove off by now, but they have to hold for the rest of the turns to call in the air support to pick this up and get it out of here. Because the Death Guard don't have any anti-air in the area nearby, so they're going to get out. Gilliman wounds his brother, who has to retreat the field of battle, which obviously shakes the Death Guard, and they have no longer want to commit to this battle. Excellent game, dude.
That was a good one. That was really fun.
I am a little disappointed the way it went in the end, but I don't mind seeing a big change of pace there, because I was lined up in a really good position to not win, but to put a lot of pressure on it. This game, before those 2 failed charge rolls, was probably going to go 5 to 6 turns, because it would have been that tight. However, sometimes the heresy happens, and that's just Warhammer, baby. So we're going to jump into a post game and we'll talk it out there, and then see you guys in a second, I guess.
Vault members, don't forget we got more Horus Heresy action in the MiniWarGaming Vault. You can check out the link for that below. It's going to be Johnny Payne and his 1,000 Sons versus me and the Night Lords at 2,500 points. If you're not a Vault member, you can click on the link below anyways, get yourself a 7-day free trial, and watch the game and everything else we have in the MiniWarGaming Vault.
Just to go over the game plan again, it was... Now, granted, the one thing that did work out for me was a charge here, but I didn't get the kill on that guy. The rough combat there, piled up with the bad, the not ideal charges were kind of my downfall there. So the goal, again, Morty would have charged generally around here to get into combat with them. Would have cleaned them up and swept them because they weren't stubborn. Oh, he's got Fear 2 and everything. And then he would have, I think my plan was to go, say, about 5 inches that way. And the Suzerain and everything were, I think they were over here, generally there. So that's a tough charge. With Fleet, you might have been able to make it. But if you moved, I would have withdrew another 5 away to go towards that support there, and then he would have been relatively safe. And then he's free to move and shadow again next turn. That was the hope. And then this guy would have been ideally dead or not. That's okay, because if he catches Morty, Morty could kill him. Morty will kill him.
Yeah, sure.
Because he's got instant death. Every swing that gets through is D3 damage. I guess he could whiff. There's always whiffing. There's always whiffing.
Sure.
That aside. And then those guys would have been tied up with the carries guy too, because I needed just 1 more inch on that charge. That would have been the perfect plan. And then while you're dealing with that, this would have crept forward to apply a lot of pressure. That's why it would have been like a turn 5 game with the Death Guard build I had going on. Because you would have had the option of, I guess you probably wouldn't have chased Morty, because you would have kept them there guarding that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But by the time these guys were ready to attack, I had these guys with the multi-bombs coming up. Morty could have shadowed up as well. He's strength 8 Sunder, so he could only glance it to death, unfortunately. But he's got a lot of attacks. He could get there.
Sure.
I guess he probably would have gone for the missile launcher team.
Yeah, because if he didn't, because when you charge a vehicle, you're not immune to being shot at.
Correct.
So he would have needed to deal with some of them. But that would have opened up all your other things to deal with. Right? You really wanted the chain fists. It's just the downfall of the Cataphractii running, right?
I was going to buy them a Land Raider, but I would have had to lose something somewhere else. I could have easily sacrificed like an Assault Marine squad or whatever, but I realized that my list started looking more and more all infantry, so I said, screw it, I'll go for it. Realistically, them and a Land Raider would have been a much better pick. That's okay. It's like you don't always need a Land Raider. Sometimes it's fun to try out different things. And I do still like the Assault Marines for the Death Guard. They, especially with Creeping Death, they don't care about difficult terrain or anything like that. They're fast, and they have toxic grenades, so they're a little defensive on their own. And and obviously the holding down the trigger with the bolt guns is cool. This is I think the 3rd time I played against Ultramarines, but this is like the first kind of build where I think I played against Steve, but it was Fulmin Terrace, all the Dreadnoughts. It was like 5 Dreadnoughts or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was Fulmin Terrace, all the Dreadnoughts, and like very minor infantry. Your list was a lot heavier on the infantry side, which I love heavy infantry.
I do, I can't say that I love it because I clearly don't love it enough to make my army do that. But that's why I leaned heavy infantry, because my list has 0 infantry. If you've seen any other of my bat reps. So
you got the Terminators.
But it was cool to be able to play around with, having enough bodies to kind of do some screening stuff and attempting to use the rhinos to get in the way of some things, right?
That was cool. They got shot right away. They went down to the missiles.
So no, but they were helpful, right? Because you focused a lot of fire into them. That could have been focused back here, right?
It's true.
So, and I'll tell you, my original plan going in was, okay, hop in the rhino and get out. And you started talking about that. I'm like, oh, of course you should do that. Of not shooting the units, shooting the rhinos. And then I oh yeah,
You just
I
go
have
with
this
smart.
nice
Yeah.
immobilized bunker back here. Let's turn lemons into lemonade and just go hide in this thing.
Absolutely.
That's kind of cool. Hopefully we have a big enough aircraft to come pick it up, but I've seen, what's the really big resin bird that you have to put on like a big metal stick?
I think that might be a Thunderhawk.
No,
It's not? Sokar? It's like Sokar-
Storm something? I don't know.
Sokar
you guys
pattern
have
storm?
one. You have
Yeah.
one painted in the.
Is it not the
green-
Thunderhawk gunship? I don't know. I can't remember. It's some nasty
Maybe
board
someone's
thing.
screaming at the screen.
Probably.
But
Because what I was worried about with how far back Gilliman was, it made sense for you going first. Now that I've seen it in hindsight, I was worried about me seizing the initiative and just walking up and taking it.
yeah,
And then there was that, yeah.
You definitely would have ruined this bat rep if you did that.
That's why I didn't want to
appreciate
do
you
it.
Not doing that.
That's why I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to seize the initiative.
You said you didn't want to do it, and I was like, wait, but why? You should want to do that.
Well, because it's going to scuff
Yeah.
the bet.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, my job is to make this interesting, right? So I got to make sure nothing weird like that happens. That's why I'm a little disappointed the game suddenly ended a little earlier than I would have liked it to. It just means like tactically, there's not much I can do.
And,
right?
and I am too,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
I was super nervous until you failed the Mortarian charge, and I was like,
Oh, yeah, that's rough.
that was going to be enjoyable, you know?
Yeah.
But now, knowing what we know now, I would have just handed Dominion you off the table if you had made that.
I would, again, the hope would have been I would have been stuck right there.
Yeah.
I would have been over there instead,
Yeah.
which is where he is. So ideally, not getting
But because
handed
we
to
had
me.
like 7 or 8 tactical Marines, right? So you get in, you kill all of them, maybe even the guy with the thing.
I would have. He has precision strikes. Yeah.
Yeah, but how many swings did you have? How many guys could you have killed?
I could-
Would you have been stuck? Could you have hit and run like you wanted to?
Well, they would have. They would have been stubborn. So I would have killed. Well, hypothetically, we would have done a disorder charge.
Yep.
So I'll say I only have 7 attacks because of Reaping Blow. So I'll just reroll one of these. It's not master crafted. So I get those, and he kills 3 of them. So your leadership -5 because he's got fear 2.
Okay.
So their leadership probably 10. So you roll. Oh, okay. Are you? No, because I killed the sergeant. You fail. So you run. That's my roll. I don't sweep. You run away, but the relic's dropped.
Yep.
And then Morty then consolidates away because they break combat and run. That's just a quick hypothetical
Okay.
roll.
So then I probably have the Caesarean come
Yeah.
grab it.
Of course,
Or
yeah.
the missile launchers even come grab
Yep.
it. Because it's
Yep.
just laying here. So once you're away, I can rescreen you, grab it, hop
Absolutely.
back. So
it's not game over or
yeah,
anything like that. It's just
sure.
I
It's just
deal
much
with
more interesting, much more
Correct.
work for both of us to do.
Correct.
It extends it, right?
It just delays it. It delays you because
Yeah.
you can't pick it up and go into the Spartan, so you're stuck one more turn out in the open.
Yeah.
One more turn for me to get a little bit closer.
Yeah.
And then Morty could pounce in, and then the Assault Marines wouldn't have been getting shot as much. They could have pounced in too.
Yeah.
It would have been a different dynamic, but definitely
sure.
it would have kept me in the game. It could have kept both of us in the game.
For sure,
technically. That's what the hope would have been. Now,
Yeah.
granted, I could have consolidated there, and you could have opted to not move, and then
Yep.
still made it would probably have been like a 7 or an 8-inch
Yeah.
charge. Definitely not impossible.
Yeah. And now remember, I did have a Dreadnought over here, right? So you consolidate over here. I'm probably going to come at you with him to
Well,
try to herd you.
He only had the carries though. He
Sure.
he can't hurt Morty.
Yeah. But I can tie you down for a turn.
It's true.
Maybe.
It's true. Well, everyone that goes through
It's a
on him
lot
is
harder
D3
for you
game.
to. Yeah.
Well, that's what those guys were for. They were supposed to charge that dreadnought.
Yeah.
So it was a 3-pronged plan. This guy was supposed to. They were supposed to kill each other,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're supposed to tie up that dreadnought, and then Morty was supposed to kill the veterans, and then make break for that way to give my army time to catch up.
Hmm.
It was like when there's 3 steps to your plan, it's very likely one of them is going to fail. Unfortunately, all 3 parts failed.
Yeah.
So he ended up winning the fight. Morty failed the charge, and then they failed the charge. I would have been okay with them not even if Mortarian killed them, got over there, yet this guy lived and they failed the charge, that still would have been okay. The most important was Morty failing that charge.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's actually a 4-point
And the least likely to happen.
Yeah, I know, right? That was the
3-inch
worst part.
charge,
That's
yeah.
the worst part. So it's actually a 4-point plan because you're right, because Morty needed to at least make them break.
Yeah.
That had to happen. He
Yeah.
could have whipped his attack as well. That's always a possibility, without a doubt. So when you have a convoluted plan like that, there's definitely going to be some things that fail.
Yep.
The most important one was him failing the charge, thus dying to the Hand of Dominion. I knew almost for
God,
guaranteed.
that Hand of Dominion.
The math on it says the Hand of Dominion kills almost every.
Yeah.
It depends on the Primarch, but it kills pretty much every Primarch in one hit.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, he's got 7 attacks on the charge. So, I mean, yeah, it's 7 because.
Well, normally 8.
Normally 8, but it goes down
If
to
you
7.
react and block it, then yeah, sure.
You have good weapon skill. You rolled rather well, but it's master crafted, so you're going to get about 4 hits with the master crafted.
Yeah.
Going to get
Yeah,
maybe
because
3
I only
wounds.
missed once, right?
Yeah.
For 3 up, that is, I did roll very
Yeah.
well.
I guess it won't one-shot most Primarchs, but it's Yeah, a couple rounds, they're dead. A couple rounds, they're probably out of here. Now, obviously, like...
and you fully whiffed on him.
Yeah, true. Well, you made I made 4 wounds. That's out of 6 hits. That was pretty good. You just made all your saves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
Lehman,
I whiffed you.
yeah. There's a couple other Primarchs that could beat up Guilliman, but Guilliman's on the upper end of like Primarch fighting.
It's almost
Primarch.
like you have to get in there and like I know Horus's Claw maybe kind of hamstrings you.
Oh, Lehman Russ gives him a run for his money. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, Lehman with the -1 to hit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Web skill 9 -1 to hit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the additional weapon skill. For
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah. So he's got the same thing. He's got the same amount of attacks, brutal too. So hard to really get around. Now in a prolonged combat, Guilliman beats Russ. Typically, but Russ wants to try and take Guilliman out right away.
Yeah. Because in a prolonged combat, he's +1 to hit after the first round.
He gets to reroll hit rolls of 1. That's what it is. Yeah.
The math's probably close, but
yeah, that's what his like if in an additional round of combat he rerolls hit rolls of 1. It used to be his weapon skill used to
if
go
it's
up.
a challenge though, I'm not. Yeah, maybe you're sure, but if it's just a one-on-one charge, can you call that a challenge?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, as long as there's 2 characters characters involved, you can call it a challenge, even if it's just those 2. It just means the other guy has to accept.
Yeah,
because he's got no one to decline to.
Sure.
Yeah, so I guess Russ is always web skill 8, so that means Guilliman's always hitting Russ on 5s, which is the big downside.
Rerolling 1s may be helpful.
So maybe that fight does go to Russ over time, because Russ is always hitting on 3s, brutal 2. You're always hitting on 5s, and we're both wounding each other on 2s.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Huh.
So that would probably be Russ's fight as well. Russ is a little over the top anyways. Anyways, that's it for this one, guys. We'll catch you next time for some more Heresy. There's a lot to come.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you a little foreshadowing there. And by foreshadowing, I'll be blunt. There's going to be a lot of Heresy coming up soon. So stay tuned for that.
Some with me, more with other people.
There's going to probably be potentially months of Heresy coming out. I don't know. No promises.
Good.
But
right in time for Christmas.
Yes.
I like it.
It's somewhere in the range of like 20 games that are going to get... If this goes to plan, there should be about 20 games that get filmed over the span of 3 weeks.
So stay tuned.
Oh, yeah.
Keep your eyes on the channel if you're here for Heresy. And there's going to be a couple fun ones there, too. Not that they all won't be fun, but these ones will be especially interesting. Happy wargaming, everybody. We'll catch you next time. Thank you, Johnny, for the game.
Thank you.
And I will be playing this list again. I actually had a lot of fun playing this list, and we're going to see how it goes. Oh, again, I want to know your feedback on the format of mission that Johnny and I have been playing for the last couple of matches. It's very critical you leave your feedback, because if you like it and you don't say anything, and only people that say they don't like it say something, then I'm only going to get the idea that, okay, I know it's the vocal minority, but at least they're saying something. So happy wargaming, everyone.